Not too hot, not too cold, but just right. Come on, huddle up.
You don't want none! You don't want none!
Ready, break. What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It's your boy Russ, and welcome to the Tar Heel Huddle, where we discuss all things Carolina football and basketball. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the newly released 2023 College Football Poll. And just to go ahead and get the spoiler alert out of the way, the North Carolina Tar Heels check in at number 20. But we're going to look from top to bottom real quick and see if there are any surprises in here. And then we'll talk about the Heels and where they are. So, no surprise, at the top of the poll is the Georgia Bulldogs as they look to three-peat in 2023. Following them is the Michigan Wolverines, followed by the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, one of the surprises for me, if you will, would be LSU checking in at number 5. I think it's a top 10 football team, but are they the number 5 team? I would have probably liked to see them swapped with Caleb Williams and Southern California. Caleb is obviously the returning Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. Penn State comes in at number 7. And then an interesting little situation here with Florida State being ranked above Clemson when the ACC says that Clemson is the better team than Florida State. So, in the ACC preseason rankings, they have Clemson being the best team in the conference. And obviously the coaches believe that Florida State is one above Clemson. A lot of people are on the Florida State Seminoles this year, and they're in a very precarious position in that just like Carolina coming into the 2020 season where they were ranked in the top 10 and people were talking about them being a dark horse national title contender and Sam Howell was going to be a Heisman Trophy candidate. Well, those walls came crashing down in week 1 when they took that L at Virginia Tech 17-10, and they were never able to rebound from it. So we'll see what the Florida State Seminoles can do because they seem to be in a similar situation to where the stakes are high. A lot of the Florida State fans are getting really excited, and it could set them up for a huge letdown, kind of like that 2021 season in Chapel Hill. So rounding out the top 10 is the Tennessee Volunteers. Then number 11, you have Michael Penix and the Washington Huskies. Texas Longhorns check in at 12, and then the Notre Dame Fighting Irish check in at 13. Now, one of the interesting things is this comprises the other 3 ACC teams, and yes, I said Notre Dame because they play an ACC schedule. They might as well be an ACC team. So let's quit playing games with that. But Carolina only plays one of them. They don't play Notre Dame, which doesn't count for the conference anyway. They don't play Florida State in the regular season. They only play the Clemson Tigers in Death Valley in their second to last regular season games. So, interesting aspect there. The Utah Utes check in at 14, and the Oregon Ducks come in at 15. Texas Christian checks in at 16. Kansas State follows them at 17. The Oregon State Beavers check in at 18, and that's kind of surprising. I know that they had a little bit of a good season last year, but if they think that DJU is going to put them over the top, probably not. And for those of you who don't know, DJU was the transfer quarterback from Clemson, and if DJU stays in the game during the ACC championship game, the North Carolina Tar Heels win the ACC. Klubnik is the reason that Clemson came in and started drubbing us. So, I wouldn't put too much stock in DJU. So, Oklahoma checks in at number 19, and then you have our beloved Tar Heels at number 20. So, number 21, the Wisconsin Badgers. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Phil Longo. Ole Miss comes in at 22. 23 is Tulane. And then rounding out the top 25 is going to be Texas Tech and Texas A&M. So there's your top 25. And we'll talk about where the Tar Heels fit inside that poll. Now, coming in at number 20, I think is absolutely perfect. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. Because the coaches know that this team is full of talent. They know that it's full of talent. Last couple of years, It just hasn't come to fruition as far as putting that product on the field for whatever reason, especially extending it to an entire season. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that this is the Drake May rating. And I think that that's absolutely ridiculous because this team is more than Drake May. Is Drake May either the best or second best quarterback in the entire country? Absolutely, yes, he is. But if you think for 1 minute that this rating is because solely of Drake May, you are out of your stinking mind, because this football team is going to be a much improved team from the 22 season. First of all, they've added a couple of good wide receivers, and we'll talk about the Tez Walker situation in another video. I'm fully convinced that he's going to be able to play in 2023. It'd be an absolute shame if he couldn't, but we'll talk about that in another video. Tez Walker, Nate McCullum, they've completely revamped their secondary, and I really think that in year 2 of Gene Chizik coming back, we're going to see a better, much improved defense. They don't have to be great. They don't have to be the Bulldogs. They don't have to be the stinking Crimson Tide. They don't have to do that, okay? The offense is going to be that good. The only thing that they're going to need to do is be serviceable, and I think that they have the ability to do that. They have the ability, the depth now at a bunch of different levels within that defense to make those things happen. And this is the thing that nobody's taken into consideration. The Tar Heels are playing with a chip on their shoulder. You know, there's a lot of people down on them right now, and they know it. And so these kids are coming in hungry, and they're going to show everybody on September 2nd at 7:30 in Bank of America Stadium when they take on the South Carolina Gamecocks. College game day will be there. It doesn't get much better than that as a Tar Heel fan. So listen, hey, tell me what you think about this poll down in the comments section. Is it just right? Are they too high? Would you rather them start outside the top 25? Or do you think that the Tar Heels are being disrespected checking in at number 20? I want to know what you think, Tar Heel Nation. So put it down in the comments section. And if you haven't already, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe to this content, and push that notification bell, which will let you know every time that I make a video about our Tar Heels. So, checking in at number 20, baby. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. We'll check in on the next one, Tar Heel Nation.